Move the Chains audience. I'm back at you with this new edition of this Move the Chains podcast with your man and your host, Sammy McIntyre. We're doing well tonight on this frisky, fun Friday, payday as I call it. Hell yeah, brother. Make America great. Woo! America, love or leave it. Woo! Make Trump president. Okay, so last night, Texans, Jets. Jets finally got a dub last night. We need to give some applause. Woo! Get some applause for the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Cayenne pepper water. All right. Wasn't a best joke, but I'm going to start with there. So, last night, I want to go dive both in these teams because one of them has got some Houston, we got a problem. And I mean Houston, we got a problem. And the Jets, listen, I still don't trust them. But there's some life now. Maybe. I don't know. So I wanted to start with the Houston Texans side of it. Holy shit, man. I felt for CJ Stroud last night. That kid is gonna they do not protect him like that. Last night, they got a problem. Because before the year started, I'm looking here, I had, if I'm not mistaken, I had the Texans win the South. And I still think that's true. So there's some good side of that the Texans are going to win the South. Now, Colts can make a run. As I just looked now, I did pick them second to win the division. So there's still some life if you're the Texans. So not all is lost. You're still going to make the playoffs. But I will say the trade deadline and the presidential election are two big important things for the NFL with the trade deadline and the presidential election. God help us. I'm praying. Make Trump president. Make America great again, okay? But I don't have a political standpoint. So, on the Texans side of it last night, I got a feeling, and Houston, you got to do something because, you had 20 years of trying to find your guy. And you have your guy now in CJ Stroud. But I'm worried, and I have this belief in my head, and I can't get this out of my head, that they're going to do the same thing to CJ Stroud that did to David Carr back in the day. Derek Carr's brother, obviously. Where they're not going to protect him. His body's going to fall apart physically. And he's going to be out of the league. Now, could that happen? Sure. I'm not disputing that can't. Last night was bad. It reminded me a couple weeks ago when Will Levis played at the Packers and just looked awful. They weren't protecting him well. Some of those sacks that I'm looking at, I'm going, well, he's got no help. I mean, now again, I got down two receivers. I get all that. And there's only a few guys, and I heard this today from Coward, a few guys on this planet that could overcome cluster injuries at receiver and O-line and make it work. Stafford had this problem. It rattled him a little bit, okay? Burrow had this problem with the cluster injuries the offensive line and receiver. That didn't work. Now, Joe Burrow ultimately got to the Super Bowl with a shitty offensive line. I'll never forget that Titans game where he got sacked 9 times and won. Don't know how, but Ryan Tannehill's to blame for that. So, and then obviously Herbert, they've been without injury. The couple of receivers they've had the last couple of years have been in and out. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, obviously now they're on different teams. One's on the Bears, one's on the Jets. But there's only a few guys in the world that can do that. Mahomes, Allen, and Lamar. That can just overcome a lot of stuff and are just super talented, super freaks. Super freak. Rick James, okay? But last night to me, and I'm still sold on CJ Stroud. This is not a shot at him. But Houston Texans, I'm looking at you, Nick Caserio and DeMeco Ryans. I believe in you, DeMeco. You're a rocket ship. You're a great player. Went to Alabama. Had that winning pedigree. You come to the NFL. You win with Houston. You get this momentum. And now you've rocket shipped to a head coach. And you've been really, really successful. And you're nothing but great things. And I have a lot of respect for you. And I think you and CJ Stroud are going to do great things. However, now, the good news for them is they got some time off to recoup. But if I'm Nick Caserio, I'm getting on that phone and I'm calling and I'm getting all linemen because you have to do something ASAP. Because if this kid gets peppered, and I've seen this trend a little bit lately, happening against Green Bay a couple weeks ago, and Green Bay in that really shallow loss, but didn't play very well. And he got sacked a lot in that game and got hit. And then I saw it against Minnesota. Now, Minnesota was kind of fooling people, I think, early on with that cover zero attack style defense that Brian Flores likes to implement. So maybe that was part of it, but he didn't. He was fooled. And then tonight, the Jets just brought the house tonight. They brought the jailhouse dogs, every blitz known to man. They brought the corners off the edge, and Reed, who's a really good player for the Jets, solid player. They just had all these waves of pass rushers in the New York Sack Exchange when they had Mark Gastineau and those guys back in the day and Joe Klecko. So it felt like that last night. And they got to protect C.J. Stroud better, because if not, then he's going to become like David Carr. He's going to get his ass beat. So you better do something, Houston. You got to go get a lineman and get something going, because you got Houston problems right now. This is not like, a quick fix. Okay, let's improve on our strength. No, it's bad. You got to protect this kid, because last night he was getting peppered and he was getting his ass beat. Now, credit to him. He got up, he kept fighting. Reminded me of Eli Manning in the 2011 NFC Championship game against the Niners up in out in Candlestick in San Francisco. And Eli Manning just kept getting up, kept getting up. So I admire C.J. Stroud's physical toughness and the mental toughness of that kid. But you got to get linemen. And I think that game would have looked a little different last night. I got to put context into stuff. If Nico Collins was there, I think Stephon would have helped, obviously, and it's a shame he's hurt, but at this point in his career, he's kind of turning into the Randy Moss of this generation. Everywhere he's gone, there's a little stench. Like, it's on you, bro. Like, you had a great thing in Minnesota, you bitched about that. You had a great thing in Buffalo, bitched about that. And now you go to Houston, still complaining about something. So, there's a lot of things going on in Houston, but, get the low line right, and I think you'll have a chance in the AFC. So, I want to flip over the Jets, and I started my show with this. Congrats to the Jets, they got a W! Yeah. Okay, so they got a dub last night. Congrats to the Jets. They haven't won since September 19th when the MLB playoffs wasn't even starting yet, okay? So congrats to the Jets last night. Aaron Rodgers, I still love you. You drive me crazy. But last night you looked good. You looked good last night. You looked like old Aaron Rodgers. Now, is he what he was? Hell no. But he looked good enough last night. If they can get that version of Aaron Rodgers with these receivers now, watch out. Now, people say, well, Sammy, you root for Devontae? Yeah, I'm still rooting for Devontae. He's one of my favorite receivers in football. Now, I don't love what he did to the Raiders, but do you blame him? No. But you signed up for it, dude. You fuck around, you're going to find out, and you did that shit. So, good for you. You found some happiness with your buddy and your daddy, Aaron Rodgers. Have fun. Okay. So, now the Jets get interesting. Now, I was thinking about this tonight, what I was going to say on here, and it's great to have you guys in on this Friday. And I'm thinking in my head going, okay, can the Jets string together some W's? Now, the schedule, listen, it's got some bumpies. But they got the Jaguars coming up. Arizona's kind of hot and cold, but Arizona's playing really well. So there's still, I think the Jets, listen, they had to win that game last night. If not, they're 2-7. Goodbye, it's over. Now, they're 3-6. They still got a little bit of a chance. So you're saying there's a chance, Dumb and Dumber? Maybe. But I'm not sure yet. I got to see this plan out full term. Now, do I believe that the Jets could go on a run? Maybe. They might fight for that wild card spot. I'm not sure. I highly doubt they will. And if they could string together this, then maybe. But I have very big question marks when it comes to the Jets organization, what they are. At least last night, I'm not hearing this morning, Super Bowl, like they did against New England a couple weeks ago. So that's a plus for the Jets. Aaron looked good last night. Now, he's got a lot of rest. Now, don't do what you did against Denver, okay? If you don't do that, then you got a chance. And I did say the Jets are better than Miami. I would still think the Jets, in a heartbeat, this team is better, more physical, more tough. They ran the ball last night. And good for the Jets. They got that dub last night. Fireman and Jets, Jets. Woo! Good job for the Jets last night. I'm pulling for you. So, I just had to... this just cracks me up. So, for all my Chicago Bear fans out there, all my Chicago family, man, Colleen, love you guys. You guys know what I'm talking about. Matt Schiffler, all you guys. So, we witnessed that atrocity, that Hail Mary bullshit against the Commanders. And, I had to just smile. And I usually love when the Bears lose because it just makes me feel better. Fuck around, you're going to find out. And I did a little bit. But today really just got me really angry. I was listening to Coward today on my way to the gym tonight. Got to the gym. I was getting ready to work out, get my workout clothes, and Caleb Williams' dad popped up. He put something on Twitter, put something on X, and said, quote, hashtag accountability, hashtag, and then he deleted it later on. Oh boy, here we go. Ding, ding, ding. I had this feeling that the Bears were going to implode just before our very eyes, as I always think the Bears will do. And I had this problem with the Bears, and I got my reservations with Caleb. You guys know where I stand. He's a mega talent, but too much baggage, too much annoyance. I'm out. And I'm worried, though, for him that the Bears cannot, and I've seen this my whole life, they are so defensive-centric, it is annoying. Okay? Now, what I still can't figure out, and this blows my mind and boggles it, was that Cliff Kingsbury interviewed for the Bears job. And you couldn't keep him in the building. He wanted to coach Caleb. And listen, Cliff Kingsbury may not be a great head coach, but I've seen what he does with quarterbacks. He did it with Manziel. He did it with Baker. He's done it with Kyler Murray. Like, the writing's on the wall. So, but then the Bears, again, they're just sticking their old guns up. Gotta go defense. Gotta go defense. Tough, tough, tough. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need to go offense. You need to change the philosophy of the Chicago Bears, because I've seen it my whole life. They can't get offense right. But it's funny, though, the Packers up the road from you can get it right. Because the Packers, unlike the Bears, have a philosophical belief in offensive football, offensive coaching. And the Bears never have. I mean, it is so funny to me that they've never had a 4,000-yard passer in their history. I mean, for 100 years. I mean, it was like Johnny Luchak. He sounded like a DJ. You know? I mean, what are we doing? But clearly this coach, and if I'm the Bears, this offseason I'm firing Matt Eberflus. I would. I mean, what are we doing? It's like the third time this year. And then it gets worse. Players are calling out the coaches. So something's a disconnect, because, listen, he was playing well the last couple of weeks. And you saw improvement. Now, every rookie quarterback's going to have this all the time. I get it. But, man, and I kept telling all these Bear fans, relax. You're playing shitty teams. Now, this isn't college football where Alabama gets the pick, Citadel. I still don't get. I mean, they played them 4 years ago in fucking December, for crying out loud. That's bullshit. Should have played it in fucking October and then got it over with. But besides the point, SC scheduling is a bunch of horse shit. But besides that point, I just went off on a tangent there. What are we doing? So, and I worried about this with the Bears, because before the year, I picked them fourth, not because they don't have a lot of talent, and they do. But again, they're looking at the wrong stuff. And I think if you can ask Ryan Poles, the general manager, if he could do a do-over, he would take an offensive lineman. And it's nothing against Roman Dunze. He's a great player. I watched him at Washington with Michael Penix. He's a stud. He's a great player. He's a superstar. But you need offensive line. This line has gotten worse. Caleb's running for his life. You need to help him and protect your asset. This is what you have to do as a team. And the Bears this offseason, or at the trade deadline, you have to make a move to get some offensive linemen. Just like I said about the Texans. You have this young quarterback, this young superstar. Now, I don't know if Caleb's there yet. Excuse me. But we could see it transpire. And this is what worried me about the Bears before the year. They're a fourth-place team. Every coach in that division is offense-driven. And what are the Bears? Stuck in 1985. Defense-driven, defense-driven, defense-driven. Hey, Chicago, go the opposite way. Go offense-driven. Because then, if you have an offensive coach in that division, scheming and all that, then you got a chance. But right now, I don't see the Bears. I mean, this is a lot of season left. But these next two games for the Bears at Arizona, really entertaining game to me. I'll probably be watching that, and I'll give my reaction to that later Monday morning, tomorrow, or Monday afternoon. Excuse me. Excuse me. But this is what I worried about. because the Bears, I've known this history. It's not good with quarterbacks. It's not good with offense. So, and Caleb Williams, his dad, it irks me because, it reminded me tonight of Odell Beckham. His dad bitching about Baker Mayfield not hitting his fucking son. Hey, Odell's dad, shut the fuck up. Why do you care? Like, I get it. If I'm a parent, I understand. But stop being a helicopter dad. Stop doing that shit. I'm sorry, like, I know Odell's great, but there's other guys on this team that need the ball. We're going to get you the ball as much as we can. So, Caleb Williams' dad, I compared him to LeVar Ball 2.0. I'm just fed up with the Bears. And they just, again, I'm not trying to pick on Caleb, and I know I've got my beef with him, but I worried about this when the year started. He had a defensive head coach that had a weird offensive coordinator. Hell, the Seattle fans love, Phil Sexton was telling me they liked, they're better off without Shane Steichen than they are, or Shane Waldron, excuse me, they are with him. So, the Bears just, listen, this is just a mess. And I predicted this would happen. But we'll see how this season goes out. So, like I said, every time I get on here, guys, I love and appreciate all your content. Love your comments you guys leave me. And like I said, have a great finish up this Friday night. Frisky, fun Friday night. More videos to come. And talk to you guys soon. Have a great night.